But yeah, all right, we can slide forward as well. We had a little bit of a report earlier today. Again, really quick. They're trying to keep this under wraps, bro. But just be honest, because I got a bigger conversation to talk about this one. Again, Tony Hawk himself, he said that there will be a future for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. He said, I'm not sure I'm supposed to tease anything about the future or whatever, but there will be a future, something happening with the series. I got a couple of questions, but one, do you want to see more Tony Hawk in the future, Timmy?
Absolutely. Any opportunity to play some Tony Hawk, I'm there. 100%.
Understand. Next question. What do you want to see, or what would you want to see in a future Tony Hawk installment?
That I don't know.
Would you want them to do something completely brand spanking new off the rip, or would you want them to pull back from an older franchise?
That is a good question. I think when it comes to Tony Hawk, for me anyway, the thing I love about the games is just being able to skate. So if you can give me that, if you can give me a good skating experience, I'm fine with that, man.
Yeah.
I'm personally not asking for much.
I hear.
That's just me. I don't know.
I hear. No, I respect that, man. Listen, again, and it's like low barrier to entry. Sometimes you just want to get in there and just like roll around, you know what I'm saying, collect tapes, do tricks, rock around the city. I get it. My brother, again, he loves skating games, and he's on that type of vibe. He's not really like there for any specific reason. He just wants to vibe out and skate and just be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? I would say this. I do want to see Tony Hawk back. Of course I want to see Tony. It's fucking Tony Hawk, guys. It's Tony Hawk. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is Tony Hawk we're talking about. Absolutely want to see another Tony Hawk game. I will say the thing to be careful of is the fact that this space, we talked about this last episode as well, this void that has been left by Tony Hawk and Skate respectively is now being, filled and supplemented with so many more skating games. Again, you see a Skate Story. You see this indie game Reckless that is like a 40-player co-op game similar to Skate. You see Skate coming back with their revamp in the next year. There's a lot more games in this space to fill up, and I just don't want to see another basic Tony Hawk game, because me personally, I don't think the IP and name alone at this stage is enough to like dominate the space anymore, especially with Skate coming back. Skate's his biggest competition. I feel like what they had to offer, I feel like it's like enough to make people have a choice to be like, oh shit, damn, we really got to think about like, okay, is it this one or the third? Me personally, I know I am against nostalgia most of the time. I am against bringing back nostalgic acts 90 to 95% of the time. Absolutely, with no question. But if there's any way you can revamp the essence, the story or some type of narrative or whatever around a Thug or a Thug 2, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like for like, because most of these skaters are literally non-existent anymore. Either they just not here or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But that spirit, I think skating games have missed a strong narrative in it, or just some type of storyline to kind of tie it together with moments on top of the modes and gameplay that they give, in my opinion. That's why I think, again, like Thug, I think it was Thug 2 with like Bam Margera and stuff like that. You go on this world tour and da. Like, I remember that the little kid in the wheelchair who's like had like the whole cast from body to toe, but he was doing tricks. Like, there's that type of thing. I want narrative behind some of these things, and I think Tony Hawk of all IPs has the biggest like pool to kind of dive back into, be like, oh yeah, we could just pull these skaters back out, we could talk about them and bring, you know what I'm saying, Nigel Houston, this person, that person, blah blah blah, and then just make something new out of it on top of the modes you already have. Again, multiplayer online probably will have to be some aspect of it now, because the game has changed and now Skate's kind of changed that paradigm, so you have to add that in. But I want them to bring something narrative wise on top of their experience, and I feel like then Tony Hawk can definitely, quality wise, stand on its own. Again, the IP itself would be like, oh, it's fucking Tony Hawk, everybody's gonna buy Tony Hawk. But I want them to bring a solid dimension of an experience back. That's me. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I like the concept of a story mode in the skating game. Not necessarily like a career mode story, but like, so, quote unquote street level, something street level. I'm down for that.
100. That's all I'm saying. Like even Skate didn't have a crazy story, but they had like, oh yeah, Coach says, like the little coach or whatever from the you know what I'm saying, from Skate. I think it was Skate 3 or Skate 2, I can't remember, but again, they had those little like tidbits there. There's something to hold it over and add to the experience that you have with the online modes and whatever, blah blah blah. Because this ain't the same space that Tony Hawk could just drop a Tony Hawk 5 Pro Skater remaster and think everybody will eat that shit up. They did it first, but then realized the remaster was ass. They were like, yo, this ain't what is this? We'll just go back to play the old Skate. We'll go back to play Skate 3 and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the same space anymore, and I just want them to approach it as such, and I think they do know that. So adding more is important, at least from my point of view.